Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, then welcome. My name is Christina, and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences. So before you go, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave any comments that you have for me down below. Since I swatch and review a lot of new lip products and lip collections throughout the year, I thought it would be really nice to just have one video where I compile all of the new products within a couple of months to be a resource and a guide for you so you could quickly figure out what my quick bite thoughts are on them and if I would recommend them for you or who I would recommend them for. We're going to be talking about a lot of lip products that were launched in the months of March and April. I don't believe any of these have launched in May just yet, so let's get into it. So let's first talk about my rating scale. Like I said, it's going to be on a rating of 1 to 5, 1 being the least and 5 being the most compatible. 1 out of 5 stars is going to be a pass for me, something that I could do without, maybe even something that I really dislike, or something that I just don't have a preference towards. If you tend to like the same sort of products, maybe this is going to be a product that you could also pass on. 2 out of 5 stars is going to be not for everyone, so this could be something that is super niche, whether it be a product that only caters to one skin type or one skin tone, something along those lines, something that I don't think I could universally recommend to everybody. 3 out of 5 stars is going to be the most neutral. It's going to be, I don't love it, I don't hate it, I could go either way of loving or hating it. I use it kind of often, but I also kind of don't, so it's right in the middle. 4 out of 5 stars is going to be, I like this product, it is in my rotation, it is something that I will think about and I will reach for whenever I'm rummaging through my makeup, maybe something I wear every once in a while, or maybe something that I wear a couple of times a week. It's something that I'm not quite holy grail status about, but something that I do tend to really like. 5 out of 5 stars is going to be my holy grail status as of that moment. This lip product launch is a holy grail, this is going to stand the test of time type of product, So 5 out of 5 stars is going to be the best of the best of the launches that we're going to be talking about. So with that being said, let's get started into the first one. They are these Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm shades. It is the shade Cherry and Pink Sugar. Now, I definitely love the shade Pink Sugar more than Cherry. I do have Cherry on today so you guys can see what it looks like. I have a lot of other videos where I'm wearing Pink Sugar, and Pink Sugar is going to just be a really nice light wash of pink. It's not going to look frosty on the lips, which is something that I notice with pink shades in general on my skin tone. Here are the 2 shades heavily swatched on the back of my hand, and then let me just kind of blend it out for you so you can kind of see. So as you can see on the back of my hand, Pink Sugar doesn't look like much, but on the lips it really does kind of transform the lips. And then Cherry is going to be this reddish pink shade here. On my lips, it kind of veers towards a little bit of pinky red, which I wanted it to be more of a true red on me. I think that this formulation is by far one of the best lip balm formulations I have tried in years, and it really hydrates the lips. They're very versatile because the color on them is really nice. I would say it's kind of like a medium buildable coverage when it comes to opacity. I think that you can use these as lip colors or just lip treatments. So Cherry smells like cherry, as you would imagine, and Pink Sugar almost smells like cotton candy to me. It's really lovely. They're both really nice and slightly fragranced. When you apply it, you can really smell it, but after a couple of minutes, it really does go away. So I don't think that the scent is irritating at all. So for me, these are a 5 out of 5. I love them. I'm constantly reaching for them. Pink Sugar permanently stays on my makeup desk or in my bag. I just love them both so much. Next, we're going to be talking about the Merit Shade Slick Jellies. These are an extension of the Merit Shade Slicks. However, these are going to be sheer shades. So definitely going to be a very, very thin wash of color. I have the shade Mapleton, which is this one, on the lips right now. This one is going to be my favorite of the 4 of the shades. And these Merit Shade Slicks are $24 as well. If you want to compare them to the OG Shade Slicks, these are slightly thinner. It's barely recognizable how much thinner this one is. They essentially would feel the same. Like if you had done a blindfold test on me and told me to say which one was which, I probably would have trouble figuring out which one was which. I really like this formulation because they feel super thin on the lips while also lending itself to being hydrating on the lips. I don't feel like it's just a film on the lips. I really do feel like these add a little bit of hydration as I'm wearing them. Now, when it comes to the actual shades, these 2 shades right here, the shade Maraschino and Le Doux, they are almost identical once they hit the lips. This one is going to be a little pinker than this, as you can tell. However, on the lips, barely noticeable. You don't need both of them. If anything, just choose one because they both kind of lean towards being more pink. Even though Maraschino is supposed to be a red sheer shade, it does end up looking really pink on myself. I would say if you're going to pick up any of them, just pick up one. I don't think you need multiple of these because they all kind of look and feel the same on the lips. Like they give the same sort of look with very slight variation in color. So for me, the ratings of these are going to be a 3 out of 5. I don't hate them. I don't love them. They're kind of just, you know, there. And I really love Merit products because they are super minimal. So if you love something that is basically a clear gloss with a little hint of color, these would be perfect for you. And if you like something that's non-sticky, not heavy, you know, if you already love the Shade Slicks, these would be a great addition to your collection. Let's talk about these bad boys right here. These are the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow lip colors. They're plumping lip colors. I have 5 of my favorite shades. I couldn't pick, okay? So we have the shade Barely Pink, we have the shade Spice, Cool Pink, Caramel, and lastly, Smoky Pink. I'm going to apply the shade Spice right now. But these are so interesting when it comes to the sensorial feel of them. They don't have any scent and they feel like straight up water on the lips, and they're super cooling. And because of how light they feel and how cooling they are, they're super refreshing when you apply them. But I just really enjoy the feel of these. This is the shade Spice. All of them are super pigmented. They go on really nice and evenly, and they don't last the longest. The last time I wore it, I think it lasted me about 3 hours, and that's with like eating and drinking. So they're not the longest lasting on the lips, and they don't claim to be. They're not transfer proof or anything like that. If you wanted to wipe it off to eat or drink or something, you could easily do that. But the color itself, when you have it on, it's super pigmented. They give you that super wet look. If you really like that glossy lip look, you would love these. Very rarely does a formulation make me think like, oh, this is super innovative. It's something we haven't seen before. And I do feel like that about these lip colors. I think that they're beautiful. I love the range of colors, especially for my medium skin tone. I feel like a lot of them, pretty much all the shades that I tried, suited me really well. And I think they did a wonderful job at including neutral, wearable, everyday shades, as well as like pops of color for people. It does feel nice and hydrating on the lips. However, it's not going to be something that I would use like a lip balm, you know? But other than that, I think that these are wonderful. For me, the rating of this is going to be a 5 out of 5. I'm constantly reaching for these. I think that they look absolutely gorgeous. You could also blot off the gloss. Let me do that right now so you can see what it looks like. So you can blot the gloss and you're kind of left with like this stain look right here. But if you want to just wipe it off and change the color, you can, and then you're good to go. And also they reapply on themselves really easily because it is that glossy formula. So 5 out of 5 for me. I think these are great. I highly recommend them. Next, I want to talk about the brand new shades in the Haus Labs Le Monster Lip Crayons. They came out with 4 new neutral shades, and these are going to be the 2 that I reach for the most. This is the shade Blush Matte right here, and then this one is going to be Maple Matte. So these are the 2 shades that I absolutely am constantly reaching for. These shades were actually my intro into these Le Monster lip crayons. I hadn't tried them previously, and I really like the formulation of these. So they are going to be full coverage. When they glide on, they feel super slick on the lips, but they do give you this matte finish, and they almost feel hydrating when you're applying them. It does end up drying down as you wear it. So here is Maple Matte. I think that these are such a good matte formulation because they don't feel drying, they don't accentuate the lip lines or anything like that, and they leave you kind of feeling like you're wearing a hydrating matte lipstick, which is really interesting. They're super opaque, and they're actually really nice to kind of mix and mingle together, I guess. Like, I have layered them. So here is Blush Matte right on the center of Maple Matte, and it just adds a little bit of definition, a little bit of dimension. I love a good lip crayon unit. I think that they're super easy to just like chuck in your purse. These also reapply really nicely on top of itself. You don't get any flakes or any crusties or anything like that. And while I do think that this looks really good as a matte, I tend to really like glossy, more hydrated looking lip products these days. So I prefer these whenever I put a gloss on top. Let me stick that Summer Fridays pink sugar right on top of this so you guys can see what it looks like glossy. There you go. And then you have just such a beautiful shade right there. So you can wear it matte, you can also wear it glossy, just stick a balm on top, and it's like a whole new lip product. So for me, these are going to be a 4 out of 5. They're in my current rotation. I do reach for these often. However, they're not a 5 out of 5 because my preferred finish when it comes to lip products right now is going to be glossy. So I do like these products, but I like them even more when I top it with another product that is glossy. Talking about another matte lipstick, because it seems like brands are starting to come out with more matte lipsticks, which is very interesting to me because I thought we were still kind of in our glossy era. But these are the Glossier G Suits. These are going to be Glossier's very first super fully opaque lip product, and this is in the shade Lane. This is going to be my favorite of the bunch. I bought the entire collection. All right, here is the shade Lane. I think it's such a beautiful shade. They are going to be that whipped texture, that moussey texture that we are pretty familiar with. If you've tried the NYX lingeries, the Fenty iconic velvet mattes, these are going to be that similar moussey texture. So here is the shade Lane and here is the shade Shift, and they look really nice and moussey on the lips, and they sort of fill in those lip lines, not as much as other moussey whipped textured lipsticks that I've tried previously. These, I say, only slightly fill in those lip lines. So you see a little bit of blurring, but it's not super blurring, you know? It's super impressive just how pigmented these are, and they wear wonderfully because the texture of these are not as oily as other whipped formulations when it comes to matte lipsticks. If you were to take a matte lipstick bullet and kind of melt it down and then put it into a component like this with a doe foot, it would feel like that. Like, it almost feels less oily, so they kind of sit on the lips even better because you don't have it slipping and sliding. I know a lot of people have issues with a more whipped matte formulation because they do tend to kind of feather out on the lips, but I have sort of an indication, because this is less oily, that these are going to stay put a little better. So I would recommend that if you do have those issues but you like the feeling of a whipped matte, try these out and see how they do for you. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to avoid feathering, but I just kind of have an idea that they might. So for me, these are going to be a 3 out of 5 because because I do like them. However, they're not in my rotation just yet. I've only had them for maybe like a week or so, you know? And the reason why they're a 3 out of 5 is because out of the 9 shades, I really only liked 2 of them because the other ones weren't really shades that I could see myself wearing. Now, that is definitely a personal preference type of thing, but for me, I would really like to see them expand it to where they have like a neutral line within the G suits. So I like them, I like the formulation, but they aren't really like a must-have just yet for me. Okay, the SACHEU lip liner stains. I have 2 of the shades, but I cannot find the shade Pinked for the life of me. This is the shade Nude, and I'm also supposed to have the shade Mauve, but it still hasn't come in the mail. So these, I'm not going to put it on, but I will insert some clips of me using this because it is kind of that rubber texture type of stain where you just peel it off and then you're left with the lip color, you know? So these are really interesting, the concept of them. They are in this long doe foot type of thing and this flat doe foot because you're supposed to be able to line your lips with it. They are supposed to be a lip liner stain, not a full lip stain type of product. And honestly, at first I was very hesitant. I was like, okay, but I mean, what difference does it make if it's for your lip lines or if it's for your whole lip, you know? And actually, I think that the big difference is going to be the tones and the shades that were chosen to be in this collection. There are only 3 currently, but from what I can tell, the 2 of the 3 that I own, they are definitely the perfect type of lip liner shades for a more natural looking lip line. This one definitely creates a very thin shadow on your lips if you use it as a lip liner, but if you also put it on your entire lip, it looks so incredibly natural, like you just have lips that are that shade, you know what I mean? And the shade Pinked is a gorgeous, like almost berry toned, very muted lip liner shade, and I think that it just elevates my lip looks, and I love that it stays all day. So if I end up eating throughout the day or drinking throughout the day and my lip color wears off, I can reapply it and I still have that lip liner look, because I don't like bringing a whole lip liner, lip color, and then maybe even a lip gloss with me. I only like to bring like the lip color with me, so knowing that the stain is going to stay all day is really nice. One big thing about these though is that they are not going to help with feathering of lip products. The big reason for wearing lip liners other than the look is to keep those lipsticks in place, because lipsticks do tend to be more oily, a little bit more emollient than lip liners do, and the reason for lip liners is to keep them in place and keep them from kind of like traveling outside of the lip lines. These are not going to do that because they don't have that waxy texture. They don't actually have a layer on the lips other than just staining the lips. So this is definitely just for the aesthetic of a lip liner, you know? And then also, I hate that these are sold out. And the reason why I hate that so much is because I actually ordered the 3-pack back in March and I still haven't received it. It's been on back order, and they sent an update saying it would go out mid-April, and then since then it's been like radio silence. So that's really frustrating because, you know, I really want the other shade, but I know that is not a permanent problem. I know it's very, very temporary, and they were not expecting the volume of orders that they received because the products did go viral. So I absolutely understand that. So because I still really love this product for what it is, I use it all the time, this is a 5 out of 5 for me. I can see myself using this forever, and honestly, I think that I might end up using all of this up because it's just that good. I love the versatility of it. I love using it all over my lips. I love using it as a lip liner, and it's just great. And last but certainly not least are the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Lip Oils. These went crazy online. I think that a lot of them are still sold out on Sephora's website as well as Rare Beauty's website. I have the shade Honesty, Delight, and Serenity right here. And I think I will put the shade Honesty on because this one for sure is my favorite, followed by these other 2 shades. Let's talk a little bit about this. I feel like these products were quite polarizing. A lot of people were super excited, myself included, but when they actually got down to trying it, a lot of people were unimpressed. Let me tell you why I think that is. These glide on like water, just like the Makeup by Mario ones. They feel incredibly lightweight. And then as you kind of spread it on the lips, they almost transform the shade, you know? When I do first apply this, it does look like a very light nude shade, but after a minute of sitting on the lips, it looks different. Like it kind of changes in color. So you definitely have to put them on the lips to really tell what it's going to look like and let it sit for like a minute before you get the true color there. So as you can see, it has darkened on my lips. So that's really interesting. There must be something in the ingredients list that kind of causes it to oxidize. I know that lip oils have been all the rage for months now, and everyone is coming out with lip oils. All the brands are coming out with lip oils. And honestly, this really reminds me of Asian glossy lip stains. Now, before trying these products, I had not tried any Asian glossy lip stains, and people in the comments were telling me that's exactly what they were. So I went to my local Asian makeup store and then I picked up some glossy lip stains, and lo and behold, they are extremely similar in texture and feel, and also the wear, how they wear on the lips throughout the day. I actually have one here from Romand, and this is the Juicy Lasting Tint in the shade Feeling Ongdu, and I actually have like 3 other shades in this, and this is the texture of that stain. And this is marketed as a glossy lip stain. And here is Honesty, and then I'll swatch this one right next to that. So the way that they apply and the way that they feel on the lips and also the back of the hand, exactly the same. For Western beauty, this is definitely innovative in a sense that the Western world has not seen this yet. However, in Eastern beauty, when it comes to Asian makeup, this is definitely something that already exists. So if you are a fan of these lip oils, I think you would be a fan of the Asian glossy lip stain look, you know? So I think it was a bit of a miss on marketing here. I think that they definitely chose to use the words lip oil because they knew that they would sell really well, while this is more like a glossy lip stain. They are very glossy upon first application, but the gloss does wear off fairly quickly. I would say I get maybe 2 to 3 hours of gloss and then another 2 to 3 hours of stain. And if you are expecting a lip oil that lasts all day, stays glossy all day, you're not going to get that with these. But if you are okay with having the lip oil look and then a stain, and if you're okay with reapplying throughout the day, these would be really nice for you. They feel very minty. They definitely have a lot of slip to them, so they feel lightweight when you're applying them, like water, and then they kind of feel a little like slick on the lips. It's very hard to explain what they feel like on the lips. But if you're not looking for a stain, these are not going to be the product for you. So for me personally, these are 4 out of 5 because they are definitely in my rotation. I reach for them pretty often because I kind of like the fact that I can use this and throughout the day I still have that lip color. I don't really like have to fuss with it, and I can kind of like play with the fact that I have a stain on, and then I can reapply it if I want more of that oil look to it. So I'm not mad about it. I do really like these products, but I could definitely see this not being for everybody. But for me, I really like them. And that is the stain that is left over. This is the Rare Beauty, and then this is that Romand shade. Alright guys, that was everything for this video. Hopefully it was helpful for you to just have all of these products talked about and rated in one video. Let me know your thoughts, and also let me know which lipstick products you have been loving that have recently launched. I'd love to know because you guys know I love my lip products. And if you found this video helpful, found it enjoyable, or both, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!